This is the Kilt Father, Mark Gunn. I'm at the Science Center here in Birmingham, Alabama. My kids are playing in the fire engine, having a great time. The CD release of Pirates vs. Dragons thus far has been an awesome success. I don't have all the results yet, and all of a sudden things start flooding back to me regarding the Brobdingnagian Bards chart-topping event way back in 2005, I think it was. And it's been interesting. So, of course, the album is still on sale. If you go check it out on CD Baby, it's going to be on sale through my concert tonight. I have an internet concert this evening, and I want you there. And I thought maybe I should have thought of this sooner, but I should just keep it running through the internet concert, and then I can turn it off. That way you can hear it, whatnot. And plus, there's a whole thing about trying to take care of stuff. This is not a work day in general. This is not my usual work day. It's a day off, but I have a CD release, so, I got to do something about that. So in any case, I do have, of course, the internet concert tonight, and I got a lot of preparation for that as well. But, everything has gone great. Thus far, I think when I checked this morning, I had 60 CDs sold, which is about halfway to my ultimate goal. But it didn't account for a whole bunch of people who emailed me receipts saying, "Hey, I ordered I want to get your special deluxe edition." So because of that, I figure there's probably a lot more that are not showing up and that are probably there. And I seem to remember CD Baby had a delayed response, because when I checked and got my first receipt, I didn't see anything listed. So I think it's about 12 hours. I'm not certain about that, but in any case, time, it's looking good. It's very possible I might meet my goal. And the other thing is I think there was 120 sales like in a week that the Bards got. Now, obviously, I expect it's going to be a lot more difficult. 11 years later, when CD Baby has grown, and there's a lot of major label artists. Like I said, Patrick Stewart is on CD Baby. Members of Celtic Thunder are on CD Baby, even though I don't think the band is. But still, so, you can obviously, it's a big independent music store, but it's also for big name independent artists as well. So, all in all, I think it's going to be a success. We shall see exactly how good it's going to be. That's just going to take some time. I should probably have a better idea tomorrow, I think. In the meantime, tomorrow, or rather tonight, once the show is over, and probably an hour or so afterwards, I will close down the 40% sales. Once that is over, I will drop the price or raise the price, and it'll be 20%. If you want to use your receipt for the discounted deluxe edition, I'm going to let that go probably through tomorrow. So that'll go a little bit longer, and then that price will go up, which I forget how much I'm raising that to, but it's going to be $65 or $70 instead of the $50 that it currently is. So that will last for about another week or so. Kids. That will last for another week or so, and then it's going to go up to a higher price that's going to last until I discontinue it on August 10th. So that's your timeline for the CD sales. I must say that I am extremely happy with how everything has gone so far. I mean, it's been a little bit crazy mentally, trying to organize all this stuff, plus trying to get ready for Gen Con, plus trying to get ready for Dragon Con. And of course, trying to get bookings done. The Louisiana Renaissance Festival is now booked, and I have shows at 3 shows at Gen Con, plus the big comedy cabaret. And there'll be 4 or 5 shows at Dragon Con as well. So, lots and lots of shows. This weekend I'm going to be at Pepper Place Farmers Market as well, and that's just me stalling for time as I try to think of what else I can share with you. Oh, there is a new episode of the Pub Songs podcast. It's Pirate Pub Songs. If you haven't checked it out, go go to pubsong.com, and I posted a new episode of the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast, and that is one thing that I can do. Today actually is the 11th anniversary of the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast, and one of the things I intended to do, but again, everything that's happening, I got a little sidetracked, and that was because one of my friends, Michael Liebman, he passed away a couple days ago on the 26th. He had developed cancer and apparently died from complications surgery. And so I dedicated the latest episode of the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast to him because he was also a big supporter of Celtic music in general, but also of the podcast. He called in more than anyone, and I grew to love it. I tell you, I'm really going to miss his phone calls saying, hey, here's another band you should check out that I found, and much more. So he was an amazing person. Plus, he was also a big supporter of filk. He had an extensive, he had a business called Southern Fried Filk, and it had an extensive collection of filk music that you could purchase from him. He helped start Gefilk, Georgia Filk, in Atlanta, and he was a really just a fantastic person. I think we first met him at Dragon Con. Our first year, he was selling Filk CDs and picked up the Bard CDs, and it's amazing how times have changed and how I have how it turned out. You know, he was a person who was selling CDs once upon a time, and then he became a friend, and a guy that I will truly miss. If you don't know Michael Liebman, look him up online. Check out Southern Fried Filk. It'll be up for a while, I'm sure, the website. But he will be missed. So, if you do order the deluxe edition of Pirates vs. Dragons, it will probably be a few days, might be 2 weeks before I actually get a chance to send it out, and that is because, again, next week I go off to Gen Con, so I'm going to try to get everything together and mailed to you sooner, but we shall see. I did order some Save the Dragons bumpers, or little stickers, so I will be including those in there, and hopefully those should arrive by the time I send these out, so you are in luck there. You will get an extra bonus, in addition to one of the secret items that I am planning on slipping in each of those things. The items could be either an eye patch, that's the letter I. I have to take my Jake the Pirate eye patches that I bought and add an eye to it, so it becomes an eye patch, like iPod, never mind. And then there's little baby dragon statues that I got as well. That's an option. And then there will be some dragon eggs. Now I have to randomize all these gifts so that Captain Blackjack Murphy does not find out about which is which. If he does, he could get a hold of those dragon eggs, and I don't want to know what he would do with those eggs. So he's a horrible person, so I'm not going to encourage that. Those will be some bonuses, and those are actually only going to be for the first few who are ordering in the next today. So if you haven't ordered them, if you order it after today, pretty much, you will not get a chance to get one of those. So just keep that in mind. If you want to get it as soon as possible. I will be discontinuing that very shortly. I think that is just about it. I did things pretty well this time. One of the things I've been trying to do is, so for the past couple years now, my WordPress websites have been repeatedly attacked by, overseas something or other, and it's caused my sites to go down. It's one of the reasons why I'm on a dedicated server, and apparently that's not helping a whole lot either. I'm really frustrated about all this, but on the bright side, because of all that, I decided to set up a new website that's outside of that and set up all my some extra sites there. And the other thing I've been doing is setting up all my sites so that they are mobile ready and basically fast loading. So this has gotten me kind of excited because all the sites load a lot faster. There's this thing called AMP that I've been hearing about, or heard once about it, but it's basically they're talking about Facebook taking preference to AMP sites, which basically means that websites that load fast. They don't have navigation. They're just pretty much loading a single page, and which sounds great to me, because every time I try to go to a website outside of Facebook, I get pissed off because every article, it loads like super slow or doesn't load at all. It takes like 2 minutes, which is obscene. So whether this will be a reality or not, I've decided to set up some sites specifically for that purpose, particularly the ones that I'm going to be using for big promotions, like, a CD release. I got a notification last night that my website, markgunn.com, stalled out once again. But fortunately, because I was sending all the promotion to savedragons.com, it was not an issue. I hope to move other websites in that same direction in the future, so if you have any problems ever getting to my websites, that hopefully will be a thing of the past. But that one is also a reason why you might see a whole bunch of URLs popping up on various sites. Alright, that's all I have for now. I will talk to you later. If you want to find out more about getting saved Pirates vs. Dragons, go to savedragons.com. If you can make it onto my website, go to markgunn.com. That's so pathetic, isn't it? I don't know. And a special thanks to all of my patrons of the podcast, of my music and such. You are awesome. I really appreciate all your support. You take care. I will be back in probably another few days with more information. So, talk to you later. Sláinte.